Hold on, what you just say? Did I was saying? Oh, that's funny.
You don't want to open up with a devotion. You know your false self come out when we get on camera. So go on, let your false self get some light.
Nah. I ain't had a song of me in long. I
Peace.
ain't just peace. What's up,
Who's
y'all?
this in here
Who?
with us? Six of y'all?
It's six.
Yay!
Okay. All right. Peace, y'all.
Roll
We need
call.
somebody to do the devotion. We got anybody that want to volunteer with a scripture?
Peace, y'all. We go roll call, everybody. Peace, y'all. Come on in here. But you know, I realized we was tuning our chakras to Christ, and so we gotta untune that.
Yes.
You
Yes.
remember that?
Yes.
I
What's up,
know I am a
Leslie?
child
What's
of
up, Women's Loving Life?
God.
Una corrector.
Peace.
Yes.
Peace, Unica. Thank you to the moderators for
Yeah.
helping us. We're going to continue to add moderators. Really, y'all, we getting to the point now where we need help. So if you can do more than moderate or would like to do more than moderate, please reach out to us and be like, hey, what do you need?
Yes.
And
Conscious
go from there.
King. What's happening?
Collaborative, 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 y'all. That's the way moving forward to the new earth. The bridge is being built with collaboration. Real talk. Can't get there no other way.
Hmm. That's
Yes.
facts. All facts.
Y'all, is there an option for y'all to do a super chat where y'all send us emojis or stickers? Because we think that somehow we're not able to do that on our lives anymore. So if y'all can give a donation, I'm not asking for this reason, but we don't think that we have that capability anymore.
Let's see right
One
there.
Miss Loving Life.
Okay, so you
Okay,
still can do
so
it.
you can
Okay.
still do donations as well. It's a little money symbol. Usually it's at the bottom. And recently I noticed it wasn't there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Cool.
cool. Okay. Because I know people YouTube channel is losing all kinds of rights and stuff. So
Hmm.
y'all got to keep us posted because we really don't be checking for that kind of stuff. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Thank you.
It's 11 people in here. Thank you. We appreciate y'all.
Oh,
And we're going to get straight into it.
yeah.
So
Y'all know how we do.
hope y'all having a good weekend.
Oh, thank
Ashe.
you. Thank you.
Life of the Beautiful Alchemist. Thank you, sis. Ashe. Now we know it's working. Because I was like, I don't know. I went into settings to try to fix the settings. I wasn't sure. So thank you for that. May that return to you 30, 60, 100 fold, sis. Yes. So while I'm giving Ernest a minute, I just want to can I just talk with y'all for a minute? I'm gonna explain why we in the bed. It's just now like 8 o'clock where we are. Um, yes, absolutely. Tonight is gonna be a beautiful, beautiful show. So thank you for that. We were laughing about it, but like really, like when we sow seeds, y'all, like I don't know. Sometimes I just remember how it used to be, and I used to give so much money away to different ministries because I was hoping to be able to heal myself. I was hoping to be able to help other people. I feel like it was helping people. And it was just so important. And then when we got our hearts broken by the truth and woke up, I felt like all that money went to waste, and all that time and energy went to waste. And so that's what we was laughing about as we were coming into the show. And I was like, well, maybe Ernest needs to sing devotion. Then, we can pass the plate, it do pretty good, and we can take care of the building fund and pay the light bill. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody who may maybe still go to church, like church or whatever. To each his own. Do what works for you. But for us, we were like, man, for a long time we was heartbroken. Shay, thank you, one Miss Loving Life. That's $9.99. May they return to you 36 to 100 fold. Thank you. So okay, so yeah, I'm talk with y'all a little bit because I feel like I want us to be able to meet some needs. So maybe some things that's been on your mind, maybe some stuff that you've been noticing with your heart, with your spiritual awakening. We want to touch on some of those things. As you can see in the title, we're talking about self mastery and we're talking about healing the inner child. And it's really been interesting lately with all the planets in retrograde. I don't know if y'all noticing, but like all of your shit all of a sudden is manifesting in new ways and like just new triggers. And like it's crazy. It's just coming to the surface. And it's been really, really tough for Ernest, like emotionally and spiritually. For me, it's been crazy for me as well. I'm in the bed because I'm having some physical things going on, and I'm having to be on bed rest. So I'm trying to, do the right thing and rest. And on a topic of rest, I want to talk about dreams and sleep before we get into the self mastery. Y'all know we always try to, no, we don't try, we do. We bring out information that you can absolutely use in a practical way to get an outcome. So that's what this show is going to be. That's what you can expect. And hopefully, we will not fail. And we will be able to give you something that maybe you couldn't find somewhere else that's going to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So, with that being said, um, me and Ernest, when it comes to sleep, we're the complete opposite of each other, right? So he falls asleep when he tries to meditate, whereas I can meditate for hours and not fall asleep, even though I need to, because I got to get up early in the morning and do school and do this and do that and work. And so it's interesting. So I find myself struggling to get enough sleep. I want to tell y'all something. Some of y'all relationship with sleep may be a little strange too, where it's not balanced. And peace, Angel Army, I didn't see you in there. And I want to say that the thing about it is, a lot of us people think that we're depressed, or are telling us we're depressed, or we think that we're depressed because maybe we're sleeping more than usual, or maybe we're sleepy more than usual, even if you can resist it up to a certain point. And I want to explain why that's happening in relation to the spiritual awakening. Okay. So what's happening is, oh yay, Angel Army, good. Yeah, we've been mailing out potions too. We can't wait to hear the reviews. We got great reviews already. We're gonna be posting it real soon. It's just so exciting where we are. But anyway, yes. On the topic of sleep, because this kind of works into everything. So what happens is, when you wake up, that your reality has been simulated and it has been programmed with a lot of stuff that wasn't true, and a lot of things that were traumatic and disempowering, and made us slaves, to masters, these unseen masters. When you wake up to that, what happens is reality becomes uncomfortable for you. Going through awakening is very uncomfortable. It looks shiny and beautiful when people, they doing their yoga poses and they got their crystals and shit and they Maldives and doing their mantra. It just looks really exciting and fun. And you're like, woo, I'm finally liberated to find what resonates with me, what works for me, and master myself. Mm-hmm. But then you have this whole other side that's like, damn, I've been living a lie my whole life. So what happens is, the dream world becomes the world where you would rather be. So whether you are in communication with your higher self, your oversoul, or not, like with me, I've been in heavy communication with my higher self and my oversoul. And so I know that I have an addiction to creating a way to go to sleep. So, and that's because sometimes I would rather exist in my dreams than in this reality. This reality is frustrating and upsets me. For Ernest, it manifests where he just has this extreme sleepiness come over him that he can't control. Or he tries to control it and can only control it so much. This is his soul's way of saying, dude, you need some healing, and it's going to be done in the astral realm. You need to sleep. So it can be manifested in many different ways. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who like, damn, oh, thank you for that, Terica. Peace, Terica. I didn't know you were saying here. Peace, sis. Yeah. Right. So what happens, exactly, Unica. So what's happening with us is, we're probably wanting to sleep more, not feeling like we're sleeping enough, and maybe dreaming a lot, and you can't remember your dreams, or maybe you're not dreaming at all and you want to dream. Like, y'all notice the focus is on like sleep or dreaming, lucid dreaming, or third eye. Like, we so focused on that, and that's because we're looking for a way to escape the lie that we've had to be programmed with. And so when the dream world is more real than what we're experiencing now, which is why they use the term to wake up. So we woke up out of the dream and we see the nightmare before us. And so when you're dreaming, even if you don't remember it, all of us are doing major soul work in our dreams. We're having meetings in our dreams that are really important between our higher selves, between our galactic tribe and council. They're having meetings and they're helping us to construct this new earth. Okay, so if you've been like having some sleep stuff, I want to explain to you why that may be happening. So hopefully, if that resonated with y'all, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and let us know if we hitting the nail on the head and we connecting. Anything you want to add to that before we move on to the
I mean,
topic?
basically, you was saying it all. You said it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, peace to everybody that's coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So I posted about the planets in retrograde. I posted about. I know y'all been getting triggered. I know y'all ain't been being your best selves lately. I know, cause we haven't. You know. I know we're not the only ones. Oh, peace to you, in time. You in the studio? Okay. Man, I wish I was where you was at.
Yeah.
That's all right though. It's all good. We
That's
learning
what's
how
up.
to be at peace wherever we are. So enjoy.
Put it down.
Absolutely. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna get into some of, and we're creating a webinar for y'all too based on this, so that y'all can fully tap in as much as you would like to. Let me come out of there and go back into the notes. Hold on. Y'all might want to take some notes or go get your journal that you've been using to journal your spiritual awakening and your experiences and scripting your life. If you're not doing that, please start doing that. That's so, so important.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
I sent it to you, right? Okay. Sometimes my notes disappear. I'm serious. Like, I don't know where this note is. Okay, so here we go. All right, you ready? Okay, here we go. So, inner child mastery. The reason why we're talking about this, y'all, the inner child is more important than we know. We sometimes you need to go back to it. So with everything happening, the economy is shifting, the dollar is dying, the world trade is being resituated. Big Pharma is setting itself up to be able to use artificial intelligence to take over humanity. It's a lot shifting and a lot happening. And so what is happening is your inner child is triggered just because of all of the things happening and because of all of the energy that's coming in to help us awaken. And in order to do that, we got to deal with the inner child.
Well, even taking a step back and just looking at it from the standpoint of why is it necessary to deal with your inner child, the fact of it is that we all have come up with some form of trauma. You know, I don't think there's too many of us that can say we had a perfect upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. And one reality of it is how can you be right or be so perfect in a fucked up world? You know what I'm saying? And it's been fucked up. So, you know, it's like that alone set the stage for all of the generational traumas. You know what I'm saying? We came into the understanding of generational curses, you know, back when we were in another religious system of belief. And so now that we out of that, we're realizing that we still got to deal with the generational effects, and that is the generational trauma that's been passed down to us through our genes. You know what I'm saying? And so that alone helps us to realize how important it is. Like Cam said, fast forward into today, dealing with all of these things, and we realizing that hey, we got more issues that we've never even known that we've had issues.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as we awake and we are waking up,
Me too.
it's coming to the surface.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I share end time knowledge.
Oh, thank you, sister.
May it return to you 30, 60, 100 fold, sis.
Yeah.
Everything that your heart desires.
Yes.
So
yes.
building on the way he expressed that, oh, we are helping you. Wow. I shaded that. So building on what he's saying and expressing, what's been happening is the inner child is crying out in many different ways. So this could be your triggers. This could be with your children if you have children. This could be with your siblings, with your parents, with your spouse. And just from talking to my inner child expresses to me like, okay, do y'all not realize where we live? do you know what chakra we live in? And it had never occurred to me. And I was like, that's deep, you know. So my inner child was like, you need to discover what chakra I live in. And then you can access me better, you know, and you can understand you better and reprogram yourself better. So I was like, yo, okay, let me write this down. Let me press in, get these answers, and share it. So here we go. So the first thing is the inner child lives in the root chakra. Okay.
Yes.
The inner child lives in your root chakra. Now, the root chakra holds the foundation of your safety and your security. And as mammals, we need to have a tribe to survive. So some species can leave their baby and it'll just survive on its own. Whereas humans, we can't do that because we were created to operate in groups and tribes and have this unity and this community. Okay. So with that being said, this is basically our blueprint, right? And for some of us, we didn't have that security and that support as children. For most of us, for most star seeds, this we signed up to come here into dysfunction so that we could figure out ways to heal. Okay. So that and so this is why, if you wonder why you had a shitty childhood, or maybe you had a great childhood and you feel like for some reason I'm really fucked up and my inner child is, you know, but I don't know why, because my childhood was pretty good. We go get into all of that. Okay. So with that being said, the very first imprint that we receive is basically relating to love and our attachment to love. Okay, so that's in the root chakra as well. So we're going to get into that too, because we're going to give you something you can do if you don't know what your love attachment style is. We're going to tell you how to find out very soon. Now, the first 5 years of your life, this is including from the womb, because you're in water and water holds vibration. So everything that was happening with your mother, which is why the mother womb typically it seems like it's deeper, than the father womb. And so that's because you were carried, you know, by your mother. And so whatever her vibration was, whatever her energetic signature was, whatever her addictions were, whatever her forms of coping were, typically becomes yours or creates yours.
And then after mom, let's just say for instance, there were maybe not that many wounds that you had as it related to your mother connection. What if father was not present? And so that automatically kicks in, you know what I'm saying? Because we all, as seeds, we all a mix of both, you know what I'm saying? Both parents. So if it wasn't wounds that you may have had that were from your mother, then your father, the missing father, or however he was, you know what I'm saying? If there was anything that wasn't full of love and full of compassion and embrace and nurturing, then it was definitely traumatic. But we're gonna get into it.
Yeah. So the first 5 years of a child's life is spent in a very hypnotic state. Okay. Mostly theta. So this is why we say kids are sponges, and they are, and we were. So you were taking in everything from your environment, even the subconscious, subliminal shit happening in your environment. You can't help but be programmed. At least the first 5 years of your life, probably a little later than that. So this is why usually when you revisit your inner child, you want to go back to these foundational years where your brain was just in a frequency to be programmed. That's the best way to be able to master yourself and empower yourself and heal. So we took in a lot of information at this stage, a whole lot. Okay. Now, the root chakra, okay, it also holds all of your ancestral beliefs. You could have been raised Catholic, Kojic, all across the board. It has an impact on you.
Right.
Okay. It
But
holds.
we know this though.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to revisit the simple stuff so that we can get back. So this is like back to the drawing board or back to step one. the
That
first
stuff grip
chakra,
you. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So okay, so curses. So let's say some shit went on, some magical battles went on in your bloodline 4, 5, 6 generations ago. That's going to be programmed into your root chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All psychological programs operate through the root chakra. This is why most ads and stuff use the color red and use those lower chakra colors to attach you psychologically to the product.
Even
Okay.
down to the sign.
Yeah. And a lot of dysfunction is also programmed, of course, in the root chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the root chakra, it governs your legs and your feet. It also governs your bones. And it also rules over your immune system.
Mm.
Okay? And so, as we can see right now, there's an attack on the earth of the immune system of the cohabitants, which means the attack is really broadly on the root chakra. And so by wearing the mask and COVID 19, I said it, but whatever, COVID 20, it's because I'm sure they got another one. But we just got updates to our phone, and it has something to do with the pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what it was. All I know, my phone really wouldn't function well until I did the update. So we might have to go back in there because at some point, remember we told y'all to turn the tracking off. When me and Kedra came
Mm-hmm.
on, told y'all to go in your settings and turn off the tracking portion. So anyway, you may have received the update. We might need to revisit that. But so they're attacking the root chakra by attacking the immune system, okay, to make us not feel safe because we are trying to create a new earth that is safe. So they have to come against that. Okay. Now, if you were stunted in your root chakra development, then you're going to see the world through that chakra. So whatever went into that chakra is how you're going to see the world, is how you're going to see your relationships, especially your romantic relationships. You're going to see the person that you're in a relationship with through your root chakra. You may not see them for who they are. You know, especially after the honeymoon phase is over and shit get real, all of a sudden your root chakra is dictating how you see that person based on the programming. So I hopefully this is answering some questions that y'all had and connecting some dots. So now, if you got stunted in that way, what happened was not only did you put on the rose-colored glasses, literally red glasses, you see how they just work in there. Truth always be intertwined in the way we talk.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is the whole belief system that you operate in is based on trauma and your family and your upbringing. So this is why some stuff you do, you don't know why you do it. This is why you do it. Okay. Now the first chakra is also all about body, physical, material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so we can see that that's changing. A lot of us aren't certain how much money we're going to have. We can keep our house. People are getting evicted. Like
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So as children, you live through your five senses. You know, that's just it. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they put everything in their mouth and you're exploring.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the foundation of your physical temple. Your root chakra is literally the foundation that holds together your physical temple. Okay. Now, in the Bible, it talks about rebuilding the third temple. That third temple is you and me, and we are rebuilding ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the root chakra is the foundation of the temple, and they know that we are being gathered and we are awakening and rebuilding the temple, right? Then it makes sense to attack the root chakra. Okay. Um, Inner child trauma will always be synonymous with root chakra trauma. There's no way you can have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma includes all forms of abuse, negligence, dysfunction, parents that work a lot. You said parents that fight or argue,
Abusive, yeah.
abusive, racist parents, maybe homophobic parents, religious parents.
Mm-hmm.
The list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm. Abuse, you know, and abuse could be abuse to anybody. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to be abuse to you that you experienced as a child, but it could have been abuse to another sibling. It could have been abuse to another family member. It
Mm-hmm.
could have been a self abuse. They could have been abusive to themselves, and it just wasn't a healthy look
Mm-hmm.
as children to see our parents, you know,
Mm-hmm.
live and move in a certain way. And if that was unhealthy, then guess what? That, like she said, that's been that's been locked in and imprinted
Mm-hmm.
into us from the root.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, to help identify your inner child, because a lot of us are so disconnected from our inner child most of the time, it's hard to identify. That's the playful part of you, that's the adventurous part of you, the childlike part of you, that's the more innocent qualities that you have. And in psychology, the inner child is basically the unconscious mind's programming from womb to about 8 years old. And so that's my personal interpretation of the amount of time. So it can go up to 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Some scientists even say up to 12.
Y'all like and share this. Thank you, moderator. Thank you, thank you.
Ashe.
Yeah, because there's some information that we got, people are definitely, you would say,
Yeah.
coming into more self-love, self-care
Mm.
awareness. And you know what I'm saying, as we doing that, these are gonna be some of those videos that really touch on, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, how to deal with it and
Yeah.
how to navigate through it as you're
Yeah.
trying to heal yourself. So definitely like it, but definitely share it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If you know somebody that's, you can see it and they can't see it, you know what I'm saying? It may be something that we say that will touch somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. A lot of us were raised by narcissistic parents, and that means you're probably narcissistic in a lot of ways too. You have to have,
Mm-hmm.
I think, 6 out of the 9 that's on the list to be
Yeah.
diagnosed
Most.
as narcissists. But
Right.
we all have some of those qualities. I saw somebody say, "Yeah, my parents were narcissists."
Yeah. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you made that comment because I wasn't going to bring this up, but now I see that it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to read something really quickly to you about narcissism. Okay, and this really
The
really
nine.
spoke to me. Fine. Here we go.
Yeah, we got to share those down. The test.
Yes, the personal
Yeah,
development test.
exactly.
So just go to type in personal development and love attachment, and the test should come up. If you have trouble, let us know, and we'll
That's
get
so
it to
true,
you.
Flex.
We'll get it to you.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at the note for narcissism, and I was like, no, we ain't gonna need it. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, y'all. This help you identify if you were raised by a narcissist and maybe even are a narcissist yourself. So narcissists don't always, and this is a impact of root chakra trauma. Narcissism is.
Mm-hmm.
So narcissists don't always know they are narcissists. We have to keep this in mind. A narcissist is like speaking to a tree. A tree is convinced it's a tree. But what if the tree was really a bush, but the bush thought it was a tree? Now, narcissists assume they are kind, wonderful human beings. They are unaware that they are not trees. They are not kind. They are not loving. And instead, they are self absorbed and only exhibit kind and loving behaviors when it suits them. They are only able to appear to be kind and loving when doing so helps to make them look good. Have you ever had the experience of a mother, father, boyfriend, sister, brother, or friend who treated you like crap when no one was looking, but when there was suddenly an audience, the one abusing you in the dark could turn on the charm? Have you ever had someone you love imply that you were selfish when you considered yourself instead of them for once? It's as if it happened one time, okay? Oh, and of course, the lashing you experience is done on the phone, through text messages, or also behind closed doors, unless the narcissist has the benefit of a flying monkey or two. And my narcissist had flying monkeys, a bunch of them, so yeah. So narcissistic mothers, fathers, and siblings don't have to work at it getting us to allow them into our hearts. We've come pre-packaged. Loving these people, and sometimes it can take a lifetime to unravel the consequences of such toxic dynamics. When it comes to allowing narcissistic friends and lovers into our lives, that can take years to sort out because narcissistic relationships cause us to dissociate from the tremendous self doubt, anxiety, grief, shame, and confusion that they cause and create in our heart space. The tremendous self doubt and the grief. And so this goes into your magic and your meditations, and maybe like all of a sudden doubt coming up, and you're like, what the hell? I don't even know why I'm doubting this. I know, I know that this works.
Mm-hmm.
So this can be very challenging, and narcissism is a form of psychological abuse. So most of the time we
Mm-hmm.
get with spouses, boyfriends and girlfriends who are much like the narcissists that raised us. So as you begin to identify who can love you for you without guilt, without shame and pain, you will need to begin setting clear, no bullshit boundaries with those who abuse you in private and then praise you in public. Hell no, no more. And shout out to Lisa Romano. Check out her channel on YouTube because she goes really in depth about narcissism and its effects. So I know that probably resonated with some of y'all. I'm gonna keep going. What causes the inner child wounds? We kind of went over that, but I'm gonna do a run through. Any kind of trauma. So your trauma may not have been as overt. It might have been covert trauma. And I know it was like that for me. Around other people, I was treated really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But behind closed doors, I wasn't. Okay. So inner child trauma can any kind of trauma can cause inner child trauma, generational, and your experiences of any kind of dysfunction. Addictive personalities are developed in the root chakra. That includes all addictions. So this is why we were given a lot of sugar as kids. Y'all have to remember the hidden hand and outside of our light spectrum has already had these plans to be able to obtain the consciousness of humanity and for us to be servants to them continually. And so a lot of us were given sugar and it became like a ritual. It's like a planetary ritual that every parent do, where it's like birthday, if your kid upset, get your piece of candy. I remember I ate so many damn peppermints at church. I don't know. My limit of sugar was probably reached by the time I turned 12 just from eating peppermints at church. It was just like the thing, like, I don't know. It was just always a lot of peppermints. And it's like, shut your ass up. This should shut you up. Suck on this. Like, it was like that. Y'all know being honest. Ashay, thank you for
Yeah.
the donation. Who is this?
Majesty her.
Thank you,
Thank
Majesty
you.
Her.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, okay, so this is why the sugar is advertised to children and using cartoon characters and all that. They was messing up our root chakra way back then, creating addictions. Now, these are some questions you can ask yourself to kind of identify if your inner child is traumatized and whether or not you've healed that trauma. So, did you fit in with your family? That's one question that you can ask yourself. Okay. What about this? Did you feel nurtured, supported, and cared for by them? You want to pick up, baby?
Mm-hmm. And you can ask yourself, did I have healthy relationships when I developed friendships?
I did. And if we're going a little too fast, I can always go back and do it again.
Yeah.
But for most star seeds, we never fit in. That's why we call ourselves weirdos.
Yep.
We're taking it back and owning it, and it's not a bad thing. So we're reaffirming ourselves and empowering ourselves that we were different. And a lot of us just got picked on and bullied at school and at home. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. How were your romantic relationships, or how were, I'd say, all my romantic relationships? Were they reflecting my traumas and dysfunctions? Ask yourself, do you have toxic love attachments? And we spoke on that. I've seen a couple of you even comment and say you have recognized and identified some of your different attachments. How do you refer to love attachment? And there, again, we shared that quiz. If you go to personal development, there's a quiz that you can find out and identify your love attachment style. The most intimate relationships, like with twin flames and soulmates, is very uncomfortable after the honeymoon phase. The lack of feeling safe makes it hard to be intimate for real. And we talk about this in our twin flame book, so y'all stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so looking at all of that, and then being able to ask yourself those questions as it relates to digging deeper and going deeper to really get to the root. No pun intended. Um,
That's why we say get to the root. It was
get to
the
the root.
foundation.
That's it.
Yeah. That's another colloquialism that proves this. Yeah.
Man. And so now we move into the part of getting to actually the steps of healing your root chakra. Because again, that's where it all is. Yeah. And so the first thing um that we found, I think there were a total
It's
of
12.
12 different um steps, or 12 different things that we've just identified. Um and the first one being meditation. Meditation of the first chakra, and going into the earth and grounding in the core of the planet, Mother Earth. And so that's super key to begin to meditate, first of all, to begin to meditate on your root chakra. Number two, stumping actually grounds us. Yeah, stumping. It also allows release of energy into the earth. Okay, so now, how ironic is it that we're talking about dealing with your inner child wounds, and then stumping is a release? Stumping is therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? That looks like a tantrum, don't it? So
And that usually kick in by the time we turn two,
yeah,
two or
yeah,
three, and
yeah.
them highly transformative years where we're being programmed.
Mm-hmm.
Divinity within us just knew how to process that energy.
That is so
And a
true.
lot of us got whooped for having tantrums.
Yes.
I even had times where I had to catch myself and be like, you having a tantrum, I should be consoling you, not whooping you on top of whatever is upsetting you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was our attempt to transmute that energy. And a lot of us got punished for it.
Yep. That is so true. Hmm. The next one would be walking barefoot on grass and sand. Wow, it's ironic you just said that, Flex.
Yeah.
Because the third thing was walking barefoot on
Yeah.
grass and sand.
Yeah.
Number four, communication with your inner child. Allow him or her to play and have new experiences. Um, that's kind of self-explanatory, but if you want some guides, there are some other YouTube channels of psychologists that actually can give a little more clarity, and they give some steps, they give some different practices, and there is some individuals that I have searched out and Cam have searched out, and we put it all together, and they are really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We always put these in the Weirdo Gang playlist. And I think it's 3 of them. So you can go in there and look through those
Yeah.
and find this in there too.
Mhm.
And I want to add one other thing. A simple way of doing that, if you have children, is to do it with your children. Just being a big
Stomping.
kid with your children.
That's good.
And one other thing.
They get a kick out of it.
Yeah. And when you use your third eye, when you visualize, you
Yeah.
know, when you use your first eye,
Yeah.
the eye that really sees, that's imagination. So when you're doing visualizations and meditations and things like that, that is the inner child getting to experience and explore and be playful, and tap into creative energy. A lot of us who struggle with that, the third eye is not the only thing to focus on. It's the root chakra, because the inner child, you're not connected to your inner child to be able to visualize. So when you're like, I can't visualize nothing, oftentimes this is why.
Also, use subconscious mind programming to reprogram the root chakra with voice guided meditations or I am affirmations. That is definitely key. Definitely key. Number 6, remove toxic beliefs from your upbringing and generational beliefs. Watch Dr. Joy DeGruy talks on post-traumatic slave syndrome. If you have beliefs from religion that are divisive and disempowering because we were taught to honor only God outside of self and Christ, sit and denounce these beliefs while listening to Schumann resonance music or Solfeggio frequency music.
So you want to combine the two together, okay?
Yeah.
So you want to listen to that and allow the heartbeat of Mother Earth, which is the Schumann resonance, Or it's a Foggio frequency, which is based on frequencies of love and
Mm-hmm.
higher vibrations and heal for healing. You
Mm-hmm.
want to combine those two together and denounce those beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to help to reprogram you. And look, some of y'all might not be conscious that y'all still got some of these beliefs, so it may be just coming up in your triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the purpose in doing this. Even if you think you passed it, I think we should all revisit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And as creators, this next one, this is it's huge. It may be difficult for some of us,
Mm-hmm.
but practicing visualizing, um, like I said, if you're creative, use your creative mind, and
Yeah.
that is to script a new narrative around the inner child experiences. I mean, me and Cam was just talking about that earlier. She was just explaining to me another technique as to how to go back and basically rewrite your story.
Mm-hmm.
And so you remember the story as a child being one way, and that was the actual trauma that you experienced. But then you can visualize and rescript it through the visualization of how you would how you would want it to be. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that empowers you. That
Mm-hmm.
re-empowers you. You get your power back like that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, forgive those that raised you and yourself. Using Ho'oponopono mantras are great for this.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, reparent yourself by self-soothing. Be the parent to yourself that you needed.
Mm-hmm.
That's key.
Mm-hmm.
And number
That's
10,
good.
treat your
No, go ahead.
oh, okay.
That's fine.
Number 10, treat your children the way you should have been treated to heal the wounded inner child. This may be difficult because the conflicting programs will tell you that you're spoiling your child, or the things your parents did, like whooping you, may suddenly feel like it's the best way to discipline your children. This is a subconscious
Mm-hmm.
manifestation.
It
So
is.
don't be surprised if you don't notice until you're hitting them or about to hit them. Stop yourself, pause, and ask your inner child, how did this feel to me? Or how did this feel to you?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good opportunity to remember the way you felt as a child to help you deter you from using the parenting skills of your parents.
Mm-hmm. So
Did
so
y'all hear that?
important for conscious parenting. That's so important. And I've caught myself like many times.
Yeah.
And like, wow, I went straight into that subconscious programming. I consciously know it's not good. And so, yeah, you just have to catch yourself.
Yeah, and it's for me it's been so much harder because I had a rigid upbringing. And it's crazy because nope, my folks weren't military at all. You know what I'm saying? But they were very rigid, and so ooh, I had that I got that rigidness about me that I have to, you know what I'm saying, be mindful of to catch with the help of Cam. Cam always helps me to see myself, and I'm so grateful for it. But initially, man, that was a huge trigger. And that's just learning how to not be so attached to forms. You know what I'm saying? In the way things were, as far as how you were brought up. So you gotta let those forms go and parent from the perspective of how you wanted to be parent, or how you wish you could have been parented in that proper way.
That's deep. And I see end time knowledge. You said that you ended up having to basically parent yourself in front of your parents while going through breast cancer. That's
Wow.
phenomenal. And I totally get that.
Yeah.
Because in dealing with sickle cell, I've had to do the same thing many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she
Yeah.
said she rigid too, but it's
Mm.
for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. It you know that some it's amazing because some of our characteristics we can look at it two both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of looking at it and saying, I don't like that. I don't want to. I want to get rid of that. No, learn how to integrate it because it may be a time, and it's probably always going to be some time, and some point that that particular aspect of yourself is necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this is my favorite, one of my favorite, all of my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love
Mm-hmm.
number 11.
Okay. Soul retrieval by performing a ritual of any kind that resonates. Exactly. I like to use a candle to represent my inner child. I dress the candle with herbs of love and protection. Then speak to the wounded inner child. Let them know, hey, I see you. I acknowledge your pain, and I'm here to heal you and always protect you.
And so y'all don't have to be
That's
good at
amazing.
magic to do that. It's super simple.
Yep.
It's quick. You can
Yep.
use a tea light candle. It don't take long, and it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my favorite things to do because I'm able to allow my inner child to help me do something magical to heal my inner child. So you see how
Mm-hmm.
that allows for the inner child consciousness to come forward, and they're participating in something that's offering healing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it in expanded awareness, you're really time traveling when you do that particular healing ritual with your inner child.
Man. Yeah. That's what's up. What you say? Some parents are so damaged they can't fulfill the social construct idea of a parent. Yup,
Mm-hmm.
yup.
That's
That's
so
so
true.
true.
Yes,
I'm still
fine.
working on my inner child. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Yeah. Number 12. Pay attention to your triggers and the way you
Mm-hmm.
respond. If you find yourself triggered, beginning to shout or become defensive and argumentative, then your inner child is reacting to, guess what? A past trauma and not the current situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, dial down the anger and frustration by becoming self aware. It's some exercises that you can do. Breathing exercises helps you to come back into your body. um as far as being self-aware, becoming more self-aware, because a lot of times I've experienced in the past where I don't even realize what I'm projecting, what my energy body is projecting, you know what I'm saying? And that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important.
Yeah, because what happens is for Ernest, dissociation
Mhm.
was his coping mechanism.
Mhm.
So a lot of our disagreements is about me observing him and him not being able to see himself in that moment for what it is.
Mhm.
And that's because when you're using your coping mechanisms, you cannot see yourself
Mhm.
because the very purpose in the coping mechanism was to put a barrier up around you. So
Just
there is
protection.
nothing to see yourself in.
Mhm.
You completely dissociate from whatever is happening, and you're actually internally reacting the traumatic experiences that you had in that present situation. So you're gonna make that situation be what you're used to it being, because to the ego, it's
Mhm.
familiar with that.
Mhm.
And the ego would rather be in dealing with an old demon than a new demon, so to speak.
Mhm.
The ego is more comfortable with what it already knows and whatever the foundation was that was laid in these formative years.
Mhm.
So literally, you'll go from being 40 years old in that moment to acting like you're 9 and you can't even see it.
Yeah, well, I did the math, and I was sharing with Cam this week that for those of us who may have not gotten to the place of really dealing with your inner child, again, like we've said earlier, you have some trauma that manifests in your root chakra. And that's locked into your root chakra,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. And so, if you hadn't dealt with your inner child at this point, then I came up with a formula. You take your age and you just add up the single digits, and that's probably what your emotional age is, to be real. And so I'm 45 years old, and so when you add up that's 9. And so anytime I am triggered or anytime that I act out and we recognize it being the inner child, I know that's my 9-year-old state.
And so that don't work for me, but you can take it if it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you
But you
kind of
ain't
want to
dealing with it.
pinpoint your
You ain't
emotional
dealing with
maturity.
it. Yeah, you ain't dealing with it like that. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I've been doing a lot of inner child work for many, many years because my childhood was so traumatic. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have survived had I not started this journey. So, yeah, it's not often that he has to tell me I'm doing something or projecting something
Mm-hmm.
and I'm unaware.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas he became dissociative, maybe you became dissociative and rigid,
Mm-hmm.
I became loosey goosey and just whatever goes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very hyper vigilant. So I'm hyper aware of everything. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I can literally smell an attitude switch
Yeah.
before it switch.
Yeah.
I
Highly
smell it.
sensitive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the benefit too, because it's like, well, if we came to awaken the world, why the fuck did we all agree to have a messed up root chakra and a
Mm-hmm.
crazy dysfunctional energy,
Mm-hmm.
childhood?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because a lot of the psychic abilities that we are now developing is
Wow.
coming from the wounds and it's coming from you doing the work to heal.
Yeah.
So the reason why I am able to do readings like I do, I mean, I just got up and did it, is because
Mm-hmm.
I already had to develop hypersensitivity and hypervigilance to survive within the environment that I
Wow.
was in. And so this gave me my superpower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an airbender. I'm a mental alchemist. So this was how sometimes your coping mechanism, once you tap into your spiritual awakening, really start pressing in and doing the work, you can
Mm-hmm.
take your coping mechanisms and turn them into superpowers.
Yes.
Okay? So it's
Yes.
just all in
Everything
how you
y'all
use
saying.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we are that
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You make to say or father because I just kind of we explain that. So we're gonna get into the wounds,
Yeah.
like which parent it comes from, maybe how to
Mm-hmm.
identify. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
really don't matter, but it kind of does.
Yeah.
So if you got issues with your mother and you a man, you want to identify this because it's going to show up in your relationships with your woman,
Exactly.
and vice versa for women.
Exactly.
So you may hear us say mother wound here because the deeper wounds, as we said, often come from the mother, but fathers cause very severe wounds as well,
Mm-hmm.
especially in daughters.
Mm-hmm.
So you can exchange out mother or father for whatever fits for you as he
Mm-hmm.
reads through this.
Mm-hmm. And so just from a more just natural perspective looking at it, an example is you know how like you can be in a relationship and you may hear things or you may even notice the fact that you're attracted to someone that probably has qualities and characteristics like one of your parents. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10 is probably from that parent that had the most impact effect on you. You know what I'm saying? Whether and most of the time it's always those negative
It is the
aspects.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh,
And that's what Uni Rector just said right here.
okay.
Honestly, I want someone with my best interest at heart so I can be triggered and work on it.
Yeah,
And I was just
yeah,
talking to you about that, and
yeah.
it's what you're saying now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like how many times have you heard, the woman like sometimes she has to be a mother to me at times. You follow what I'm saying? And then or a person may sometimes say, well, I want somebody like my dad, or I want somebody like my mom, or I want a woman that would have those characteristics as my mom. Now, guess what? Even if we don't say that, we still end up attracting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Through some of our trauma, we still end up attracting that which we may have experienced because guess what? It's familiar to us,
Yeah.
and the energy it's on that same frequency of energy that we experienced in childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems safe.
Yeah.
It seems normal. But as you begin to love on yourself more and begin to take care of yourself and look out for yourself and work on yourself, you realize, nah, this ain't normal. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been neglecting myself in a
Mm-hmm.
major way and allowing myself to be neglected and mistreated, all under the guise of it's normal and it's what love is. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's so bad for his past relationships. Like he's so dissociated. Y'all was talking about the numbness. Like
mm-hmm.
that's one of his things. And I have to, so so yes, it can be frustrating where I have to step into the mother energy, but you have to reparent yourself. You have to remother yourself as
Mm-hmm.
well. You may
Mm-hmm.
not have somebody you're in a relationship with who can help you with that. They may not want to step into that energy for you. And that's okay too, because it's not their job. Ultimately, it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
I step into that energy for him because this is what I signed up for as a twin flame.
Mm-hmm.
So there is never a release from my duties. But there are times where I tell him, this is your issue. And babe, you got to figure out how to work this out. If
Mm-hmm.
you got some questions, I'll let you know. But I'm not going to take on your problem and carry it and fix it for you. But I will give you some tools.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So sometimes the mothering is like that. So you want to be that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So wounds from parents, conscious, and this, this goes into conscious parenting. If you suffer from the mother wound, you will experience the following problems. For females, constantly comparing yourself with and competing against other females.
And this could be for y'all males too, but I know
That's
definitely
true.
for females that was the experience.
That is so true.
Constant competition.
Yeah. Sabotaging yourself when you experience happiness or success.
That's subconscious. You don't even have to think about it to do it. A lot of us are fearful of success because success means more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Success means being in the spotlight, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Success means and more accountability. And if your root chakra is not healed and you don't feel safe, you're not going to be able to do that because anything that you build is going to be built on whatever the construction is of your root chakra.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you can build it, but the house might be harder to stand up. You might have to hold 4 wood poles to keep the house standing up because the foundation isn't strong. So, you can do it, but it's definitely going to be more of an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those of you who are single, press all the way in, work on you. So when your twin flame reunion happens physically or your soulmate union, you will be ready for everything that comes after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so seek God first, and everything else should follow. Seek your own divinity and sovereignty, and everything else will follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so good. Yeah. Possessing weak boundaries and inability to say no. Mm. How many of you that resonates with you? You know what I'm saying? I know that resonated for me.
I got weak ass boundaries. I've been working on them. My
Yeah,
boundaries was
yeah.
weak as.
Prior to coming into self love and self care, I didn't even realize I needed boundaries. I didn't even realize that
That's true.
I
You
was
didn't.
like a defenseless house. You know what I'm saying? And you could come in and you could chill and you can occupy space and everything. And I'm like that doormat. Shit, welcome. You know what I'm saying? But I started learning to form boundaries, and then with the help
Mm-hmm.
of Cam, you know what I'm saying, pointing out to you gotta let people, you know what I'm saying, uh uh you gotta stop that, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can't allow this and can't allow that, you know what I'm saying. And I always took it as, shit, I'm being meek. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Cause
crazy because
that.
he would behave as if he's defenseless but be defensive.
Yeah.
So you become the definition of irony when you are unhealed and
Mm-hmm.
you so double minded, nothing is stable.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So the next one
You
would
right.
be
You right, Flip.
self blaming. You know, self blaming and
Mm-hmm.
low self esteem that manifests itself as your core beliefs.
Mm.
So you like that there's something wrong with me, plays on loop, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough, plays on loop. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
go ask PJ. Oh, I think it's locked, sweet. Is it locked? Y'all know we living in a tribe with a village and only 2 parents. It takes a village to raise one kid. We got 3 and the grandbaby. We need help. But yeah, you just go back. You can't be rigid. You just it don't benefit you to be rigid. You know, just ebb and flow. Go with the flow. So, but anyway, yeah. So low self esteem, blaming myself, feeling like something is always wrong with me, no, 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 no. We're doing the video.
No.
Go get your toy from over there.
No. Peter won't help me find my mind Zuma.
Okay. Okay. Well, when he get through eating, I'm sure he'll help you, and we'll let him know to help you find it.
No, he's not eating.
Okay. Well, I told him he could eat dinner right quick, so go ahead. If you interrupt again, we're not gonna do nothing special now. I told you we working this out together. Okay.
Well,
You have to stay quiet. He will. Ernest, go tell him to help you find it. So I'm still very critical. I feel like everything got to be perfect. I know y'all deal with that too. So perfectionism is a result of this trauma as well, and not having a balanced root chakra. It's just what it is. So yeah. The next one would be codependency in your relationships, and this is not just with men or women or whatever you like, but your kids too, and your parents. Like codependency is an understatement for me. I didn't like with the weak boundaries. That is a relation of you being codependent, and you become codependent because you don't know how to function all by yourself on your own. So you can be codependent on people, you can be codependent on substances, you can be codependent with different foods. A lot of us became codependent on the religion, whatever the religion was we were offered. It became like a narcotic, it soothed us in some kind of way. So whether it was just the music, some of y'all probably like the music part was the only part that was soothing and peaceful that I really liked. So we developed codependency in our relationships where you're not able to be interdependent. You're not able to be a working piece with a partnership or a collaborative. Codependency expresses itself in always being worried about what Ernest might think. I hope that don't make him not want to be with me no more. Like your mind you can't even stop thinking about stuff like that. You feel like you gotta make that person happy all the time, and you just take on that responsibility. Like all of that is codependence. So another one is minimizing yourself so that you're likable and accepted. I had that one real bad. So this is dim your light. Like I didn't want people to know I was good at stuff. It was crazy. It was weird because I didn't want the light shined on me, because I felt like in order to be liked, I can't outshine people. Or I got to be really, really good at what I do, and then that'll make people like me. But it's all of it is unhealthy.
That's so true.
The inability to speak up and be authentic and express how you feel, express your emotions fully.
That's me.
It's hard to do when the root chakra been traumatized. Sacrificing your dreams and your desires for other people unnecessarily. And most of the time, these people that don't care nothing about you ain't gonna even be around, And we will not be ourselves. We will not go for our dreams and things like that because of that. Waiting for your mother's or father's permission on an unconscious level to truly live life. You may not know that you're doing this, but sometimes because we didn't get the validation, sometimes we're just not taking steps forward because we're waiting on that validation. We're waiting to get some type of permission or push to step out there and walk more into your authentic self. And so when your inner child is unhealed, you will find yourself seeking that validation constantly, where you don't even feel secure to make decisions, So mother or father wounds are developed at a young age, and they are bound by the belief that I was responsible for my parents' pain. And so I'm the one who needs to make them happy by being good or bad. The truth is, we're not responsible for our parents' pain, y'all. Even if we felt like we did some stuff terrible, we're not responsible for it. And we can't always make our parents happy. That's something they have to want to do on our own. So some of us, maybe we saw our parents argue and fight, then we saw abuse, and we just wanted to make it better, So yet, unfortunately, as children, we were not aware of this. So on a subconscious level, many of us still believe subconsciously that we are the culprits of maybe whatever went wrong in our parents' life. And they could have got divorced, and you could secretly feel like it was because of you, So this is some stuff that points to you have a wounded inner child. So we want to give you one more solution, which is using the energy of crystals. So some crystals that's good for the root chakra. It's many, typically the red ones. What we have here tonight, of course, is these are the stones that we got from the mountain in Sedona. Okay, and they don't need to be charged. Maybe just program talk to, you know. But they so powerful, y'all. It's amazing how you come into the consciousness where you know you really awakening when you talking to rocks and trees and you know that they healing,
Yeah.
you know.
Or you talking to animals.
Bugs.
You talking to bugs.
We talk to our spider totem spirit animal guardian all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheena became like a part of the damn family.
Yeah.
Ernest had to move up to the tree today.
That was the second time she got moved.
Yeah. So we move her and she go find somewhere else.
Yeah.
As long as it's on the house.
I'm not laughing, but that shit for real.
But you know you different because most of us didn't grow up like that.
Yeah.
Most of us thought people were weird who hugged trees and had crystals and stones.
Or collected bugs and other.
Or we got picked on for doing it when we were little.
Yeah.
Man, you so weird. Why you digging in the dirt, playing with them rocks? You know, like we got bullied for this shit like that. And now you find out that's where the spiritual power is to heal yourself, to empower, and even awaken the whole earth by anchoring these vibrations. You see how the matrix is set up to turn us away from what will truly give us power, and it be simple things. So now that we're speaking on this, if y'all let us know if y'all want the potion, the root chakra potion, I would customize and do that on demand, on order if y'all ask for it. It's not on the website, but we do have some more stones from Sedona that we went and found ourselves out in 115-degree weather. It was so hot. But I can make some potions to help y'all with this root chakra energy if this is starting to speak to you. And you're like, okay, I got some more work to do, you know, or some more inner child work to do. So the healing properties of fire agate. This is another stone, fire agate. I love this one because it has this creamy white portion on the side. But again, any stones that is the color of the sacral, root chakra, those lower chakras are going to be really good healing. Really good healing. Okay. And we're gonna make, like I said, we're gonna make this available. If y'all want this, need this, we just need enough people. It takes time and money to put this stuff together. So, but we do it based on what y'all meeting the need. You know, because it's a family affair over here.
Yeah. This interesting. Sightseer Lounge said, they heard that when you whoop children, especially on the butt, that it induces sexual trauma.
That makes perfect sense.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because what is it when you get into the bondage and stuff?
Yeah, BDSM.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it wrong.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, it's true. It makes sense. And for if you think about it, with that region of the body, you know what I'm saying, right at the root, right at the base of the spine. So you see how a lot of us experience. We've come to the conclusion that whooping is just not. It's not the way to go. Period. We are so far more evolved than the generations before us, and we are so creative. You could think of new ways to discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it was benefit to do so if you haven't started on that journey yet. And so, so the fire agate crystal, y'all, we're going to make this available.
And so some of those effects that you may have experienced, I see some of you sharing it and talking about it, those sexual traumas that occurred, you know how we should be the greatest alchemists and transmute that into using it now in a healthier way. in a
Yeah.
positive way.
It takes
Something
some
that
work,
would, yeah,
but it can be
yeah,
done.
it definitely could be done.
Okay. So the fire agate is very grounding and inspiring. It makes for an incredible tool for your spiritual awakening. It is the stone of the hero's journey, giving us the courage to follow our spiritual path even into the dark places we fear and
Hmm.
to emerge triumphantly again into the light. The fire agate helps us to feel safe and can be used to repel psychic and emotional vampires. It is attuned to the root, the first, and the sacral, the second chakras. It is linked to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the elements of fire and earth, and it vibrates to the number 9. Okay?
Hmm.
Now, emotionally, fire agate has a passionate and joyful energy that is also fiercely protective. It is a stone that inspires great courage within us and urges us to follow our bliss and
Hmm.
leave behind the humdrum of routine. Anyone prepping for a big change would do well to work with the fire agate's energy.
Hmm.
Fire agate helps us to feel energetically protected. This feeling makes it easier to build a strong and healthy emotional foundation that can whether the storms of life are difficult or not, it can withstand them. Its energy is also a wonderful aphrodisiac. So speaking about sexual trauma, these
Hmm.
crystals help with that as well
Hmm.
in your ability to be intimate. So not so much so just about sex, not even about sex. Maybe you're single and you just don't want to be out there like that.
Hmm.
This you can do these practices with yourself. This is a really good practice to do with yourself.
Hmm.
So this is why religion made it seem like, because masturbation can be a deep form of intimacy and a deep form of healing and bonding with yourself. Even using it as sex magic and using that creative energy that comes through from masturbation to create, to give birth to something new in your life. So you may want to just focus on healing the root chakra with masturbation. You could visualize with masturbation and be able to heal these things as well. And especially for people who were sexually abused, it's so important to me, in my opinion, to do this because it reprograms the whole sexual system, that it's safe and that you are in control of what happens to you.
Hmm.
Your body and your nervous system needs to be reprogrammed to know that, to be safe and to feel comfortable being intimate, and this crystal can help with that as well. Okay. It also helps with to attract new lovers and incite passion within your existing relationships. Now, on the mental level, fire agate helps us to think for ourselves and not allow the opinions of others to negatively influence us. Again, if you still got some inner child wounds, if you still been finding yourself getting triggered, that probably means you got some root chakra wounds.
Hmm.
So what's happening? You're being influenced constantly. So vampiric energies can just pull up on us and hijack some of our energy body
Hmm.
throughout the seven subtle bodies. Just pick one, hijack it, and use it to get whatever it is that it wants through us. We are all channels. I'm not the only channeler here. We all are. We are all mediums to some type of energy. Some of us just don't know how to direct it yet and can't fully connect to it. But we're learning. So, fire agate encourages us to follow our dreams and to believe that we can achieve even the loftiest of goals. It is also a highly creative stone, making it useful for all types of artists, particularly those who need to regularly produce or perform. Fire agate gives us the mental stamina to stay the course and to do what needs to be done. Fire agate can also help us to navigate the tricky terrain of a negative work environment. So, I don't know where y'all working at, but if y'all having some issues with your coworkers, this crystal is really good for that, to help keep you productive and peaceful, right? And a lot of times these coworkers are energy vampires as well. That's just how the system is set up. It's not even personal to you. Anybody that's awakening is a targeted individual.
Hmm.
And so when these energies around you not vibing with you, trying to ascend up out of hell, up out of the bullshit, up out of Hades, up out of the 3D matrix, the lockdown, the planetary lockdown, it triggers them. You can't help but trigger them. you know. So yeah, a lot of us trigger people we work with and be like, I don't even know what I did to just your presence alone
Mm-hmm.
can be triggering, not just with coworkers, but with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the physical side, fire agate has been called a stone of eternal youth, and it is said to bring vitality to the entire body. It is said to increase digestion,
Mm-hmm.
and to assist with sexual dysfunctions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is also used for treating the central nervous system, which I was just mentioning. Just like other agates, it is commonly used to help treat eye disorders as well. So when you think of the eye period, that can be the first eye or the two
Mm-hmm.
that you have.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, we can make that available, for y'all. But a lot of us, we definitely need to heal our root chakra so that we can move forward and go to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the segment where we talk about something that's going on in the world that we feel like has a spiritual message. And
Yeah, because we got probably
yeah, I'm watching.
about.
So okay, babe, you wanna read this? We shared this post. We'll share it again. We always create a forum after we do our lives on the website. So
Mm-hmm.
this will be there, and you can read the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest is just gonna read through the beginning of it so that we can give y'all the spiritual aspect behind this, what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna pull a card and channel like I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
And this is a story that was released by the Washington Post too. And it just says TikTok has chosen Oracle as U.S. technology partner.
did y'all hear the name of it? Mm-hmm.
Yes, rejecting Microsoft's bid. Again, TikTok has chosen Oracle as U.S. technology partner, rejecting Microsoft's bid. And this says Microsoft says Sunday that its offer to acquire TikTok's U.S. operations was rejected, leaving Oracle as the likely American partner the video app has been seeking to satisfy U.S. regulators. TikTok has chosen Oracle as its technology partner in a deal it thinks will satisfy U.S. regulator concerns about data security, according to a person familiar with the talks who asked to speak anonymously to discuss the deal. Microsoft said in a blog post that TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, said it would not sell to the tech giant. We are confident our proposal would have been good for TikTok's users while protecting national security interests. Microsoft said in its post, to do this, we would have made significant changes to ensure the service met the highest standards for security, privacy, online safety, and combating disinformation. And we made these principles clear in our August statement. Walmart had joined Microsoft's bid for TikTok. The rejection may leave tech company Oracle as a bidder for TikTok. Oracle and TikTok declined to comment. President Trump previously signed an executive to ban transactions involving TikTok as soon as this week.
Mm.
TikTok filed a legal challenge against the government's order to ban the video app.
So this is China and the United States clashing. This is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting that it's called TikTok. So this is
And
related
Russia,
to
yeah.
the Matrix. It's related to Father Time.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Israel, Russia, China, they've all been gathering intel about us, mostly through our children, our grandparents. For some reason, grandparents love TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of elderly people you see on there now. I mean, some of everybody. So TikTok, y'all already know about Shadowgate, that documentary. The husband and wife went to prison because of putting that together. You cannot find it on YouTube, and when you can't find something on YouTube, why? Okay. So with
Share
that
that
being
again.
said,
What you said, T. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
okay.
I'm trying to see.
With that being said, yes, we are gonna do a giveaway. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, we are. We're gonna do a giveaway. Thank you. So
We should do it.
to translate that, and I'm gonna go into a channeling, and then I'm gonna pull the card. Just make sure we do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But TikTok linking up with a company called Oracle shows you that's confirmation. because I said the TikTok when the weekend, the artist, the musician, went on there and he had this live interactive where you were like bidding and picking between the red and the blue, whatever came up on the screen. We talked about it, y'all. If y'all missed that, just go look it up. But I said that was a ritual, and I said that TikTok represents Father Time. TikTok also represents the 1260 frequency, which we talked about a lot based on the Mayan calendar here. That is the planetary lockdown. TikTok represents all of these things, okay? So if you just really step back and look at it, for them to partner with a company called Oracle, we know what Oracle means. And so you can see how through AI and how through a lot of these government entities, what they are trying to do as oracles are awakening and using their gift to help other people. You see how the war is going both ways. So for Microsoft to get put out of this, that's really interesting, because I know Bill Gates feel like he ruled the world at this point. And so you can just see the internal conflict that's happening between deep state and all the other governments in the moving pieces and new moving pieces coming in. So they're gathering intel. They probably know more going on in our homes than we know about what's going on, in other countries. This is just, it's not a good thing. So if you got TikTok on your phone, I don't know. If I was you, I wouldn't want it. I don't have it. Yes, we're being socially engineered. Yes, it's an issue, but TikTok, this is a huge ritual. And so the awakening of the planet, I created a blog about the awakening of the planet and the timeline triggers. TikTok wants to take over the timeline, to be able to program the timeline of Earth on a digital level using rituals. So it's a two phase thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, we are going to do a giveaway. I saw somebody posted that. We can't be on here too much longer because we got a class we got to get to.
Yeah, we do.
But yes, we're gonna do a giveaway. Thank you for reminding us.
We wish we could do it right after the live, but again, we got another engagement.
Yeah, that's a great idea. End time now, let's think bigger.
Yeah.
To do it like that.
Yeah.
We didn't know exactly how we wanted to do it, but that's a great idea. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create the forum, and then on the forum, comment about the show today. We're gonna put everything from the show today. If there's something in there that need editing, y'all forgive us. We got a lot on our plate. Charge to our head and not to our heart. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But we be trying to get this information to y'all as soon as possible, because we know time is of the essence. And then that's being unattached to things being perfect. And I know people are like, well, if you run a business, it needs to be perfect, and it can't be any mixed spell words and no bad puns. I get that. I get the excellence. Ernest especially, like, I have to get him to dial back. I totally get that. But sometimes just the message itself, whatever is the word spelled wrong, long as you know what it is, it's important. And then maybe the people who can't see past those things, maybe it's not for them. Maybe this is just not the divine time for them to awaken, that they can't see past flaws. And typically when you can't see past flaws in something or someone else, it's because you can't see past your own. And so that's your soul calling you to yourself to pay attention to within your own. So yeah, I'm not making an excuse, but it is what it is, and we want y'all to have this information. So what you can do after we create the form and post it, and you can go ahead and start copy pasting and put that in a blog on the site. Just let us know. Just comment. All we need you to do to be able to participate in the giveaway, just comment what you think about the show, what resonated for you, what jumped out at you. Maybe you have a practice that you do to help heal the root chakra you want to share. And then we're going to choose the person that wins the giveaway for this month. And so you'll get the crystal that we showed you. And maybe even we'll go ahead and do the Sedona potion package. It'll be different products and things that I'll end up creating and making. But like I said, we'll do this on demand. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. We want to show you a candle from one of our tribe members that they made for us. We finally got it.
Leslie, you still in here?
Thank you, sis. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so nice to have a family outside of our relatives who get us,
Yeah,
we get each
awesome.
other. It feels
she
good.
Makes the most powerful, energetic crystals.
Yeah.
and aesthetically they look. She's very crafty, and she put it all put a
Yeah.
lot of energy into it, and we just appreciate it.
And I don't know what
Yeah,
made you do this color, but it just fits into everything that's going
it
on.
was right on time. Yeah, yeah. Of
So
course, that's that
y'all,
Remnants
I'm
gathering
I'm
right there.
sorry shuffling too. Okay, I'm just channeling everybody, everybody part of the collective, part of the tribe, right now. Thank you, Isis, for your guidance. Y'all know Isis is one of my matrons, so she's really good to work with. She is the divine mother. You know, she is the one that put her husband Osiris back together again, and the representation, the symbol of the phallus, and how it was her that found the phallus and gave it back to him. So if you can look at feminism and a lot of other constructs and social engineering, it was like the women emasculated the men, and that mothers emasculate their sons. You see so many mamas like embarrassing their sons and giving them these real ugly haircuts and making them stand on the corner with signs and shit as their punishment. I mean, it's creative, but dang, it's kind of like a form of emasculating them.
Yeah.
Even if it's not intentional, most of the time it's not. So working with Isis is really good when you are trying to transform your life and trying to heal your life. It's really good for that. And so, fellas, this is awesome archetypal energy for you to work with as well to heal with the energy of Isis. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe we'll, I did write about spirit guides and how to connect with them and divine ones. One of the simplest ways to connect with a divine energy would be their mantras, you know. So yeah, you could always start there. Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
We're discussing the root chakra. We're talking about our inner child. A lot of us been getting triggered lately, and a lot of us are learning new things about ourselves. Isis, what message do you have for us? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm. So I pulled the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus. Okay. It says the Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. Mm. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. That's that's so perfect. It almost seemed like I just pulled that card intentionally so that it would fit.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all, like, our spiritual abilities is coming out of our wounds and our trauma, you know. So try not to feel like you have to repress these things, because what you repress continues to progress, and it will become the driving force in your life. And so consciously you trying so hard to be conscious and be conscious of what you do, but you can't never just fully step into your higher self, even if it's just for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
because you are just you're trying to fight force with force, so to speak. And
Mm-hmm.
so reprogram the subconscious mind, switch up your perception, like we talk about all of this. And so for us right now, because we are figuring out, wait a minute, my spiritual abilities were implanted within the dysfunction and the wounds, and me working my way through darkness. Let me go back into the darkness, right? We have divine protection. Yeah. So if
Mm-hmm.
you've been needing protection, we got divine protection right here to go into those dark places. So let's heal our inner child on a new level, y'all, because on a collective level, the inner child is also being healed too, you know. So yeah, that's why a lot of us resonate with all this information. Um, let's see. Yes, so we're gonna create the forum. It's a blog, but we can use it as a forum. We're gonna create that. If you are not a member, not subscribed to our website, please do, so that you get updates to everything that's going on. If y'all are interested in the Sedona rocks or the Sedona potions, like I said, we will do that on demand order for you. If you're interested in the fire agate, we will do that as well. All you have to do is message us and let us know. For those of you who want to enter to win for the giveaway, comment something that we discussed tonight that resonated with you in the comment section, and then we will announce the winner this week. And for those of you who ordered shirts, thank you. And potions, hopefully y'all got y'all packages. And we've just been getting some amazing reviews. And I think I saw Raj Shaman, one of our sisters. You said she popped up in here. Yeah. So peace, sis. Yes. And so we're gonna share her. We're gonna share her interpretation of what the potions have been manifesting for her and helping her to connect with. It's just so amazing. It's so amazing. So yeah, and the abundance potion is available now too. I know a lot of people don't even feel like they can do that right now, like because lack and poverty is being triggered. Again, it's the root chakra. So really, if you think about it, tapping into abundance and prosperity is done through the root chakra. So that potion vibrates with healing the root chakra as well. And so yeah, it's all fitting together. We didn't even plan this; it just kind of rolled out like this. So yeah, check out the website and the products. Was there anything you want to add?
That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Yeah. We appreciate everybody being in here and being on with us. Yeah. It just does something. It just does something for the entire tribe, the entire family. You know what I'm saying? And it's by no coincidence that you were led here or that you're connected, because we all are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wish we could stay on here longer.
Yep.
I'm so glad that I got the strength to be able to get through the show tonight, because I knew it was important and a really good show, and I was just so determined for us to be able to fellowship, because we can't be forsaken. Fellowship is important. Don't forsake fellowship with your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, like real talk. Unity, collaboration, community. That is the bridge that is building the new earth. So if your inner child is crying out to you, y'all, let's deal with it, okay? Let's stop ignoring it, or let's stop feeling like we passed that, because I don't think many of us are, because we're constantly being bombarded with shit to trigger these different traumas that's been programmed in us. So yeah, it's okay if you having to revisit. It's a good thing to just do it just for spiritual hygiene, you know? So thank y'all so much. If y'all like the video and enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to the moderators for helping us tonight. We missed y'all.
Thanks, T. Thanks, Women's Love and Light. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do. And as we always say,
man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace.